Hello fellow Helldivers, Thornton here. Just got done actually snowboarding at Breckenridge for my birthday. That being said, we are going to be talking about Helldivers 2 and a brand new movie and something cool happening with the Illuminate as well. We're going to go over all of that without further ado. Let's jump into today's topic.
So before we go ahead and start talking about the new Helldivers movie, Iron Sights did let us know something pretty interesting with this screenshot, and well, it's pretty cinematic, so I felt it fit the theme of a movie. And according to him, he can't give too much info on this one yet. It's not a full leak, but it has something to do with the Illuminate obelisk, and it does look pretty scenic, so I'll go ahead and play the clip right here, and you guys can go ahead and theorize what it might be. Now, with all that being said, and it's a pretty interesting leak, something really big happened. Heard it, but PlayStation announced that they are going to go ahead and work on a Helldivers movie. Apparently, the production is already beginning, and this is a pretty huge step for the franchise. This is definitely due to the success of Helldivers 2. Now, of course, we did get a Secret Levels cameo from the Amazon TV show. It was only a small cameo that the Helldivers were a part of, and basically they devoted an entire episode to Concord, but that game absolutely flopped, and well, Concord had to die so that Helldivers could fly, and I'm actually pretty excited to see that they are working on a movie with this. Now, according to Polygon, it's actually going to be a live action movie. This also comes alongside Horizon Zero Dawn, the other popular PlayStation game. And what's interesting is Sony actually owns the rights, if I'm not mistaken, to Starship Troopers, so it would be interesting to see some crossover there. And personally, I would love for the actor of Rico to make a guest appearance at some point as a Helldiver. I think that would be really, really fun. I've heard a lot of fun theories, like having each actor like be a really famous actor, like say get The Rock or Tom Holland or whoever it may be that you think is popular right now, and then every 10 minutes they die and it basically reenacts the game as is. My only concern about this overall is the fact that, well, Sony tends to make a lot of flops. I mean, everyone knows about the Spider-Verse Sinister Six thing with Craven and Madame Web. They've flopped a lot back and forth, so there does seem to be a little bit of apprehension on my side on whether or not this will be wildly successful. We don't know any actors attached, any directors. I'm hoping that Arrowhead and Johan are actually involved with this quite a bit. It's basically going to be a retread of Starship Troopers, but you know, in a Helldivers universe, so I will be interested to see that. One thing is for certain though, is that when this actually does drop in theaters, regardless of if it's super popular or not, the player base is likely going to surge, as a lot of people who have never heard of the game or aren't into gaming in general see the movie and are like, well, I actually want to go ahead and play that. And that leads us into something by Johan, where he mentioned at some point about talking about massive PvE battles involving something like 20 to 30 players all in the same big firefight. It comes up pretty often at the studio, but there are engine limitations, so we'll see what happens. And since Sony is going ahead and actually making such waves as this is going to be their brand new franchise, like they just don't announce a movie for any old gaming title that comes out, it makes me think that they're going to pour a lot more resources into Arrowhead, which makes me wonder, we did see this clip the other day that Johan Pietelstedt went ahead and shared of a game they were working on that featured flying mechanics and shooting. We talked about airborne vehicles, but it does make me wonder if ship battles are ever going to be a thing, because it seems more and more likely as there are more resources being pumped into Helldivers 2. What if the next step in defending democracy involved taking the fight directly to them? This is where the rumors of space combat ignite our imaginations. A fan video making the rounds proposes a thrilling scenario: Helldivers piloting souped up dropships locked in zero gravity dogfights with these very automaton motherships that have just been data mined. Imagine the strategic complexibilities, maneuvering in a 360-degree environment, utilizing cover creatively, and unleashing hellfire upon these monstrous vessels. A true test of a Helldiver's piloting skills and tactical prowess. It would be baptized by fire, redefining what it means to be a defender of democracy. This also seems very reasonable, as a much older game from Pandemic, originally Star Wars Battlefront 2, had a very early Helldivers approach to its gameplay with third-person fighting on planets, and did also include space battles and boarding. If a game from the early 2000s could do it and was an inspiration for Helldivers and Arrowhead when making the game, I imagine this new ship that we are seeing is early work on that feature. But the possibilities extend beyond thrilling dogfights. Think about it, you grapple onto the hull of a cloaked vessel, breaching its defenses and fighting your way through labyrinth corridors teeming with robotic, squid-like nightmares. The claustrophobic tension, the constant threat of ambush, a whole new breed of challenge that would push every aspect of a Helldiver skill and resolve to the limit. And also, some might argue that venturing into space combat and boarding operations represents a significant departure from the core gameplay of Helldivers. But let's not forget the spirit of this franchise. Helldivers are the ultimate problem solvers, the unwavering defenders of liberty who adapt and overcome any any obstacle. And with this game being so popular and selling so many units, I imagine they're going to open up new ways for combat. Otherwise, it would get very repetitive if we just continually went onto planets and blew stuff up. But I mean, I'm also okay with that as well, because blowing up stuff is pretty fun. But here's where things get even more interesting, because there are some new leaks regarding the Illuminate's arsenal. This is the gauntlet used by the summoner. The gauntlet contains 5 crystals. Yes, it's like an infinity gauntlet, each being controlled by the will of the summoner. Iron Sights, a data miner, suspects these crystals are used to create a rift in which the ghouls will crawl out of. Similarly, there is also the Illuminate Outcast Beamers found on the Outcast Beamer. It's important to note that the textures are from the model, and it might be different from once they are officially released. All that being said, Sony going ahead and turning this game into a franchise is just nothing but good for fans. It means that there's going to be probably a lot of upgrades to the engine. They're going to add in new ways to play the game to draw in a bigger fan base as they realize it is so popular. All that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into community clips now. Don't forget to submit your own to me at Thorn and Smash on Twitter, but without further ado, let's roll it.
Heavy, southeast, close. Calling in reinforcements! Heavy, southeast, close.
Allied destroyer joining squadron, deploying Helldiver.
Calling in a Hellbomb. Thank you.
Coming in hot. Engaging orbital lead. Mission at 20 minutes remaining.
Back in action. Here comes the cavalry.
This is Pelican 1. I have visual on the extraction zone. Pelican 1, landing in progress. Pelican 1 preparing to depart. Shuttle launch in 20 seconds. Reinforcement budget depleted.
Let me know down below, guys, what are your thoughts on a Helldivers 2 movie, and who would you like to see in the upcoming cast? Also, don't forget to check out the video in the top left corner for my outdoor channel. Until next time, everyone, thanks for stopping by. Keep spreading managed democracy.